Welcome to another episode 5. Oh my yeah, man. Another episode of Party Poopers, man. It looks like Dr. Doug's over there having a party right now. In the middle of a party. I hate to pull you out of it, but this is what we do.
That's right.
How you doing? How you doing over there, man?
Feeling amazing. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be amongst the stars. The estrellas out here. What's going on? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good too, man. I think everybody attached to this show's got stuff going on, but we love to do it. We know how important it is, and all of our fans, they want us to hop on this, so we got to give it to the people. Anyway, we told y'all that we'd be bringing our my sister, his daughter Nia, back, and she is in the house tonight. So without further ado, y'all make some noise for Nia Mitchell.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello.
Yeah. Nia is in the building, aka Drake's attorney, but we ain't talking about Drake today.
That was my spam name, so please.
Okay, fine. Okay, I want to
I actually listened to a Drake song today.
Did you like it?
I'll give it a good 7.58.
It was the rain song.
The raining in Houston one.
How's that go?
Yeah. I can't tell you how it goes. Nia, I'm sure can.
I don't want to go Nia.
It's raining in Houston, my love. The hate from this year alone is confusing, my love. That one.
So, Dad, you don't listen to one song?
Yeah, and that was by mistake. I don't know how that ended up in my little algorithm, but I wasn't mad about it.
Well, I mean, she look youthful now. It may have helped you out a little bit.
It's because that beard is gone.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, y'all not coming for me, please.
Nah, I would never do that. I would never do that.
I just got the hair tightened up and everything. You see the parts? You see it?
Yeah, that looks nice.
That's why you was judging me. Okay. Fresh out the chair.
No judgment. Keen observation.
They put some more dye in there for you too.
That was Betty.
I'm talking about the blonde.
Oh, the blonde. Okay, never mind. I thought you was talking about like the Beijing. The Beijing.
Wow, not the Beijing.
Nah, the Beijing is not there.
It's
all good though, man.
Oh, you ain't talking about nobody's hair today. Neither one of y'all. But let's
my hair is in a sick black bun. The bun that you begged to see, that you begged me to wear out.
Yeah, because she could have been asking for a wig.
You're right, Nia. Definitely, you on point. But anyway, your brother looking like he's straight indigenous over here. But
I am. I'm going that route. by default. Anyway, here we go. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, here we go.
Ushers, close the door, and they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors.
Oh.
Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant.
You thought that was hilarious.
There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed, and they understand the cost that is involved.
Well, do y'all understand the cost that's involved to go to church?
To get locked in a church. Held hostage.
I've actually been in a lock-in with a church before, but that was voluntary. I don't think nobody ever forced me.
Like, forced you to be locked in a church.
That's low-key. I don't know. That's low key a little. That's weird.
It's just money hungry.
More than that.
Hey,
Yeah, it's
That's abuse
greed.
of power. That's money hungry. That's like, and people really sat there.
pimping. You
Yeah,
know, pimping
sat
been
there.
pimping since pimping been pimping,
I
baby.
would have started calling the police.
Bruh.
Call the police. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna call the police on a pimp in the pulpit? That's
Let me out,
blasphemy. That's
please.
So
blasphemy.
last week we talked about when is simping gone too far. And so this end up being called this was hilarious to me. Marvin Sapp's pimping church simps. So you got two different type of simps, that we've discussed on this show. One just the guys to the women, but now we got these simps that's in the church, and that's a fact. I never even thought about them as that, but
Hey,
go ahead, man.
no. No, I just can't. I can barely contain myself. But go ahead on before I.
Please don't. This is unhinged. This party pooper is unhinged, and you have been to more church services than both of us. When have you ever seen anything like this before?
First of all, I want to give shout out to the holy hoes out here and
The holy what?
the holy hoes.
That's crazy.
Everybody need love. Everybody needs grace. Everybody needs thoughtfulness and consideration. Hey, what this man is doing is on brand for as I like to call them, church niggas. And I know that's going to create some angst among church folks, but the audacity, come on. And again, I want to hear what you two have to say about it, because I've been to church a lot, but I want to hear what this new generation.
Well, I go to church, and a lot of people down here in the area say like my pastor is money hungry. But me personally, he'll get on there, and for like 5 minutes he'll be like, y'all pass your phone, pass the collection plate. If y'all want to donate during Cash App, here's the link. Y'all want to donate during online, here's the link. And he'll do that for like a solid 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes is over, he's not asking for money. So I do understand, like, these churches, they need some type of support to keep speaking to their communities. But Marvin Sapp asking for $40,000 was just greedy and money hungry.
Right now,
That
today.
that was money hungry. Right, in this economy, eggs are $6 a carton. You're gonna lock your people up and say close the doors for $40,000. Why didn't he donate 30,000?
That really got me hot right now.
And why are you trying to like say what each person donates? He was like, people up here donate 100. If you in the front, donate 20. The rest of y'all donate 10. Relax. It was really thirsty. It was so thirsty.
Bold, bro. You bold to really not only do this in person, but this is live streamed. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
People really. And then anyway, he actually came out with a long message about
He did.
but I did not read it, and I wasn't going to.
I think I skimmed over it. It was something around, it was taken out of context. How is it taken out of context? We saw what was
Okay.
happening.
Okay.
You locked your doors and said, everybody, we're leaving together. Y'all not going nowhere at the restaurant. Even if I was going to a restaurant after this, whose business is that but me and the Lord's? Why you just pocket watching?
Bro, I done been to church so many times and didn't have no money to give on my last. And if somebody I might want to fight somebody, lock them doors on me, talking about till I give 20. I'm hot, but I've really always struggled with the idea and the concept of tithes and offering. It just never really been like extra clear to me, especially when they present it to you like this. You know what I'm saying? It kind of I already got my guard up about it, and then like it's almost like you say, holding me hostage. He didn't have a gun. You know what I'm saying? But this was
But that pressure in the church is just like so like you better do it. Everybody's like so somebody like you in the church, and I'm like I'm about to get up and leave. Everyone's gonna be looking at you like, oh, you can't give any money. Probably not in that situation because I know a lot of people in that crowd had to be like, this man is doing the absolute most. Or maybe he has like really just die hard followers, but for no one to be like, what you're doing is kind of crazy
Mm.
is insane.
You
It's
know
like
what
they're
else?
scared of him.
No, they don't have to be afraid because he was invited. Why do they? He was invited into that place. That's like expecting a wolf. Somebody's how was it put? Expecting to be expecting a wolf not to eat you because he already had a meal. I screwed that up. But you bring a wolf into the sanctuary, put him in the pulpit. Now somebody had to authorize that. You said, please listen. Who should you really be upset with? Should you be upset with the pimp, or should you be upset with the folks who let this pimp get up in there and condone what he was? Somebody should have snatched that mic out of his hand.
Yeah, my issue really isn't with the pastors anymore.
No, my issue is with not just the pastors, but the
congregation.
pastors, the congregation.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna let some clown? Okay, this dude is. I posted somewhere to say this guy is pretty much a modern day minstrel. Minstrels used to walk around with these capes on, and back in the 1930s, it was a man named Carter G. Woodson who wrote a book called The Miseducation of the Negro, and he talked about the same thing that this man did. Basically, niggas would go from the city, would go into the country and get church niggas stirred up, take all their money and bounce and dip. Basically get them in a frenzy, get them to talking about Jesus and get them running around the church and throwing money at the altar, wherever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then they be out. They break the preacher off, probably a percentage of that, and then they out. Now, if the tithes in fact are if that scripture that talks about bring the tithes to the storehouse. So if it's a storehouse and the tithe is supposed to be 1/10 of what you earn, first of all, like you said, get out my pockets. I'm not giving you no man 10% of what I earn every week. That's absurd.
So then you don't give it all when you do go to church.
I feel like I'm being attacked right here. But first of all,
no.
I give. First of all, the church is within me, so I give all the time, all day, every day. I want to say last time I paid, I can't remember. If I'm just like, I don't remember last time. I'm certainly not gonna get nobody pull out my Cash App or send no money via Zelle. I'm not doing that.
No, you can tap that card. They got that tap pay now.
Man, I wish I would, man.
But I mean, I think that's what it kind of, like back to what you were saying, how like you just really upset with it all. It's not just Marvin Sapp, you know what I'm saying? He just has a bigger platform, but it's a lot of these pastors doing the same thing that
money hungry.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like I said, I think it's deeper than just money hungry. It starts with really just the just like you said, the congregation, how they look at these people. You know what I'm saying? Like them being money hungry. You know what I'm saying? That's them. It's really a lot to unpack here. But I mean, even last week we was talking about just like what people deserve to be paid. You know what I'm saying? That's subjective. But like I said, just holding these people on pedestals, the fact that people really felt like he was powerful enough to make them stay, to make them give up that $20 that they wasn't going to give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's where, and so once again, it's not just him. I literally just resigned from working at a church that was the exact same way. And, it was just, it was a show, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times. And, me and my dad talk about church niggas all the time.
I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you the last time to answer your point, Nia, about whether I gave. Do I give anything? No, I don't. I can't tell you last time I went to church. Went to a. Oh, the last time I went was with Jalen,
Yeah.
and
Really?
How
and
was it? How was it?
and his preacher was pocket hustling that day, and everything was old. The carpet was old. The paint was old. It looked like a church out of the 1970s or something like that. You spend all this money coming. You got all this money coming in on a weekly basis. These tax free nonprofit, basically organizations, just make money or they just taking money from people and then don't. What do you get? Last time I gave money to the church was probably on a consistent basis was when I was living in Dallas. I remember I was going through a little financial struggle I think I tried to get some of my money back. I said, "Can I get some of that money back?"
Really? Wow.
They, of course, they ain't had no love for me. So I'm like, all right, that's the end of that.
Yeah.
I wish I would. But when that man said close the doors, he really didn't. Nobody was forced to stay in that church. But,
Yeah, they
but
could have got up and
the
left.
psychology of it, that these people get them manipulated into believing that I'm supposed to be doing something
Yeah.
just because this man is up here.
Well, they
Just
put
Um,
get
God
some.
in it. They put God in it, and it makes people feel convicted and guilty. You know what I'm saying? And I think like I said, they do that in business and relationships and all kind of stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I think by part people want to like give back is like they go there weekly, they get this amazing word, they get encouraged, they get words of that they might need during a hard time for free. So the least that they could do is like give $1, give $2 to the people that just pour so much life into them.
yeah.
Nia, aren't you a pastor?
Huh?
Aren't you a pastor?
No.
You're a preacher.
Stop trolling her because if she was, you would know.
She's an
No.
ordained minister.
Yeah, I'm ordained. I got the little certificate for it. I never did anything with it though.
Don't diminish,
Yeah, it ain't no little certificate. That's a
don't
big deal.
diminish just, what God ordained you to do. Just when
Yeah,
you
I have the certificate.
okay. So when and if you ever get out here, just be respectful.
Yeah,
Don't be locking the doors on your parishioners.
people can give what they want to give if they feel comfortable to give.
Facts. And so I'm glad you said that because that brings me to my last point about this is that last week when we were talking about simping, Dr. Doug said that simping ain't really no problem or consider simping if you're getting in return what you getting, right?
Yeah,
Not getting the same thing, but if you like if I can't if you like if the exchange is equal, of reciprocation. I think that's what
hmm
I'm get at.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's
yeah.
so in this case, you know what I'm saying, like you say, if you get $1 or $2, like that ain't gonna kill nobody. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? Especially if I enjoyed the service, I enjoyed the music, I enjoyed worship, you know what I'm saying, the word, and I got up out of here on time. Yeah.
yep. You give $1 or $2 to the homeless people on the street.
First of all, $1 or $2 to a homeless person on the street ain't gonna fit. You can't get. What can you buy for $1 or $2? That's where my
Mhm.
ties go. I'll buy somebody some food. I'll buy them some shoes. I put them in a hotel.
Mm. Like that.
But I ain't giving no man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I was gonna ask about the reciprocation. So what do y'all feel like these churches slash pastors could do to justify demanding $20?
I don't think anything in the world could justify demanding someone to give you some money.
Mhm.
But
Oh, I want you to remember that. Anyway, carry
you're
on.
my father, so
Okay.
God created me.
Your
Anyway,
father,
anyway, anyway.
your
That's
father
besides
in
the point.
heaven.
That's besides the point. That can't justify somebody demanding you give you some money, but people. What I am okay with is people just asking. Give whatever you can give, and for me to do that, like I said, a good service, good word, You know, they're not in there just
You make me feel like I got
talking
a
it.
choice, right? Make it
Yeah,
optional.
yeah, like a optional. Like I have it's just like I want to give you money because I like what you're preaching. You're just asking for money and then it's like a trash sermon. No.
You don't pay nobody. That preacher need to get a job. You don't need to pay no preacher just because
That is his job.
no. That's what he is called to do. That's not necessarily a job. Because if it was a job, then he would be receiving a W-2.
I'm sure they are,
You
right?
don't receive W
No,
two
they
for
don't.
it?
They don't.
If
They
you own the
don't.
church,
They
I
don't
think
pay
that's the thing.
taxes. They don't pay taxes.
Oh.
It's what them preachers should be doing. Is if the preacher and let's shout out to those preachers and those organizations that are pouring back into the community, pouring back into the people, the children. They're actually one of the churches I went to was really active in providing scholarships every year for children that wanted to go to HBCUs. Um, what about daycare? Providing affordable daycare for a lot of these single mamas that can't afford daycare, or got to struggle between deciding whether or not they're going to try to go to school or get a job because they can't afford to go to school because because they can't afford daycare. So that's something that churches could be helpful with. Get out here, get outside. Go out here and talk to some of
Yeah,
these crack addicts and these
yeah,
alcoholics.
yeah,
So
Pouring into the community.
yeah,
that's what I'm talking.
yeah. So you feel like if you visibly seen a church helping causes and taking care of the less fortunate, you'd be more inclined to spend money, break bread.
So that's what the tithes
Supposed to be
are intended for,
exactly for sure.
right?
So I'm
People
just saying that would restore your like you. Is yeah. So if you went to a church where you seen that, you feel better about tithing.
I'd be inclined to
Yeah,
offer, make an
yeah,
offering, but
right.
I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to have a direct deposit to anybody's church, or
Okay.
Yeah.
or repaying or giving nobody my.
You know, there's churches out here that
Huh?
kick you. I said, there's churches out here that'll kick you out the church for not tithing.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like them churches that have the $10 line and the $100 line. We can
crazy work, crazy.
again. My position on that is you can't get mad. Don't hate the hustler, or don't get mad at the. Don't hate the hustler. Hate to get mad at the game. How does it go?
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah,
That's a
and
fact.
people gonna be suckers and people gonna be goofy and clowns and they need to be taken advantage of, especially in this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
My whole position on that.
Yeah.
And this man, did you see that Rolex? Did you see the Rolex on his arm? No.
Yeah, he's like rich. He had on a Louis Vuitton suit.
He had a
Louis Vuitton
rose
suit.
gold Rolex, diamond bezel, the diamonds crusted. Oof. Come on, that was a 40,000. That was a good $60,000-$70,000.
Yeah, put that watch on the table.
Come on, bruh. Hey. Yeah.
That was greedy. I love his song Never Would Have Made It though.
Never would have made it.
So I said never would have paid it.
Facts. I promise. Just close the door. Just close them. Close them. We gonna be here waiting.
That is too funny. I
But,
can't believe he did that.
I just wanted to see the ushers' faces that make him have to repeat himself. They probably was like,
They're probably just staring at each other.
Close them door. Anyway,
Close the doors.
moving along, man. We've given Marvin Sapp 2 different episodes. First it was R&B album. Now he is locking people inside the church. But
He does too much.
he's had a year so far. He is having a year.
Where's Kirk Franklin when you need him?
He watching it. But speaking of having a year, so is Louisiana. Y'all, and it's ironic that we're bringing you on, Nia, our Louisiana reporter, because I don't know nobody up there, but I'm trying to figure out where to start. I guess I will start with, hmm, let's start with, we
Boosie.
can start with Boosie. We can start with that. Boosie is one of my, I wouldn't even say my, but just one of the culture icons, and has been around for a few different generations, and has a very popular song that if it comes on right now, set it off. People gonna start strolling.
Dad, you friends with one of the producers to that
Right.
song?
So
Right.
you know, I didn't even tie those two together. That his song is really influential in the Greek community,
It
but
is.
It's
but
not called "Set It Off."
it, it is
Is it "Set
right.
It Off"?
Set this
Um,
off.
we gonna set it. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I think it is set it off.
Is it?
I think
Yeah,
so.
that's a song that he produced on. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think it
trying
was.
to.
But anyway, man, Boosie Bash, he does this thing every year in his hometown, called Boosie. Have you ever been here?
Mm-mm.
Okay, but yeah, man, he bring a whole bunch of artists from that he knows, and he just sets it off, in Louisiana. And I don't think like at this point, Boosie's always done his own promotion. Like he can bring people, he can bring a crowd. You know what I'm saying? He don't
Especially in Baton Rouge,
right, especially back home. I don't think he really gotta like
do a lot.
do a lot, but he decided.
Yeah, let's set it off.
Yeah. Go ahead.
See, I'm ready.
Huh?
Yep. You should. I should show him strolling to this song.
Woo.
You hype right now? See, you ready to go? You ready to go in? You see
You
what
get you
that
back.
does? See what that does to to somebody?
It
But
turns
anyway,
everybody up.
facts. Anyway, pretty much he decided um, the some of the earnings that I got from this concert Boosie Bash that I do every year, I want to donate it back to the school, give a $10,000 scholarship to.
In honor of Caleb
Yeah,
Wilson.
in honor of Caleb Wilson to whoever, and then another 10,000 to the family. So, yeah, I thought that it was crazy that but the family was like, we want to sue
Yeah.
because you using our son's name to get clout or to get ticket sales, and
Yeah.
I just really want to ask you. My opinion really doesn't matter yet. Is it that deep?
I think it's a really fragile situation. It just happened. And I think he didn't like come to the family as
Move in the middle.
delicate. Oh, delicate as he could have, especially since it just happened. But as they said that he was trying to use Caleb's name to promote his event, which is not the case at all. I think it's the other way around. He was promoting Caleb's name so people can give money in honor of Caleb. And thousands of people come to this event every year. The more people come, the more donations can go to Caleb and his family. But it seems like they didn't understand it. So instead of Boosie getting like offended, like, oh, I'm never gonna but she said he felt betrayed and all this stuff. I think he just should have took it down. At the end of the day, somebody lost their child. You don't know what type of emotions they're going through. So you may have been trying to help, but the best thing to do is just follow the family's wishes and like try to tell them that you weren't trying to use his name for promotion, because the event does not need any more promotion than it already has. No shade though.
Mm.
But yeah, it is fragile. I think he should just If they said that to me, like, oh, we don't want, we're gonna sue you, I would have been like, you know what, I don't want any problems. Not just because I don't want to get sued, it's just because they're hurt, they're going through a lot, they don't need more problems on top of the problem. So if y'all don't want y'all son's name attached to this event, okay, fine, I'll take it off with no problem. No.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think I really think it's his disappointment was a little deeper than just this incident. Like I said, he's been in the game like 20 years, so uh, from me following him, I've seen that the city just give him problems in general. Like that's why he moved to Atlanta. So one just kind of I guess dealing with the street or hood culture, and then also dealing with the police. They're just in between a rock and a hard place there. So now
Mm-hmm.
it's like he like what? Now y'all trying to sue me. You know, with y'all as a whole. I'm tired of trying to give back. And every time I come back, you know what I'm saying? Y'all doing me like that. So um
Why couldn't he have just reached out to the family personally?
and get I mean that's Boosie. He's not really organized in any area.
Why
Like
could have
That's
done
what he
that?
should have did. He should have reached out to the family.
You said right. You giving him a pass by saying that's Boosie. No, bro, he's a grown man. He's a
facts.
grown man, and he's a business person. Regardless of how ghetto or ratchet he is, he didn't just fall into being successful. And then that's separate from why. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Why not just do what is like do the mature thing? Let me reach out to the family. I didn't know that they threatened to sue him.
Yeah.
That's but I mean, did they need to take it that far too? I mean, I don't. Was that necessary? It just seems like some extreme behaviors on both sides. It
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
been mitigated
And
by just being.
emotions are like really
Yeah.
high.
Not just extreme, but impulsive.
And if what did he say he was going to donate $10,000? Is that what he said?
He
He
said
said
he
he
was
would.
gonna start a scholarship.
Yeah, scholarship for ten
Oh,
thousand dollars, and then give the family 10,000. But he did mention that he was like, I was gonna talk to them when I got up there. But like you said, I think it makes more sense to have done that on the front end, ask for
He
permission,
had
talk
to
to the
talk to
parents.
them first.
Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah.
I agree with that.
Because by doing it that way, it seems as if he's like as if he's being an opportunist. Even if that wasn't his intention, taking advantage. And again, if that wasn't his intention, but how often
It
do
just feels
are
slick to you.
we like? It's like what did somebody said the road to hell is paved with the best intentions. But if you can't just even though that might have been his intention, but it was messy. It's kind of messy, and I think too soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should have
Too
should have
soon
handled. Yeah,
to be
and
handling stuff so carelessly.
yeah, but Boosie, you're right. Boosie's kind of he just fly by the seat of his pants.
Absolutely.
He does what he wants to do, but you can't do that. Like you said, Nia. Just like you said, you're dealing with somebody's
Yeah,
family member, child that that lost their life.
yeah. Just
You
not
can't
really
even.
like just was it was insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. Well, I hope
Yeah.
that I'll get that squared away. I really hope they can have a conversation and like
Niggas is insensitive. Niggas is reckless. And I'm saying that I'm saying, and we don't have to dive back into this topic, but Marvin Sapp could have invested if he put $40,000 on the pulpit or laid $40,000 down. It would have made more sense for him to
Mm-hmm.
make that argument and say close the doors. I mean, it would have been
Yeah.
more like palatable if he put down 50 racks.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah.
I agree for sure.
And I'm gonna donate $50,000 to X amount of families, in here, or I'm gonna sit down with some people and have a conversation, and I'm a sponsor somebody and their family for
Yeah.
a month or two or three.
In his little paragraph that he wrote, he said, "Oh, I donated way more than that behind the scenes," but it's like nobody cares.
To
and
whom
nobody
much
knew
is,
that.
to whom much is given, much is
Right.
required.
Right. I heard
So
that your boy NBA Youngboy though has been philanthropic and has he's supported. He's actually been out here in these streets. I don't know much about it, but that's my understanding that he's been like he's been like out here boots on the ground helping people.
I actually
Is that
haven't
true?
heard that.
I heard none of that. All I heard is that man is a
I haven't
menace,
heard that.
and Louisiana doesn't even want him back.
Dang.
Yeah,
Now
but
that
he
he's
is. He
out.
is. That was our next topic. He is free. He just got out of jail for the umpteenth time,
Up to
and
Thank
time.
you for that segue.
I want us to read. I wouldn't. Yeah, what a segue. Yeah. I wanted to bring this up because I'm not really a big fan, but he's a big deal. As far as like numbers and influence on the younger community. Um,
Hmm.
he is like their Lil Wayne for sure. Like it would be no YNs if it wasn't for Youngboy.
It wouldn't be if it wasn't for
Like
Louisiana.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a lot going on there. I just kind of want to get your take, Nia, on what does this mean? Him coming out this time. What do you see? You know, we think the tour. We thinking the way people are gonna be acting again. We thinking more music. What are your thoughts when you hear Young Boys Free?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's on probation, so he can't tour anywhere. I do hope that he drops new music because I'm a fan. I like his music. As of recently, his music hasn't been that good. The
Yeah,
quality has went down.
yeah,
I don't know why. Maybe it's because I think he's going through something too. Like those drugs are kicking his butt.
yeah, for sure. He's not definitely changed. He's had some phases. And the music that he made at his peak,
I hope
before
he gets
the heavy
healthier.
drugs was
Yeah.
well. I believe jail may have done that for him.
Getting
But
healthier.
yeah, I know you
Yeah.
hear a little bit about. Do you really understand the weight of
NBA
young
young
boy
boy.
just in general?
No, I don't, and I don't care.
Mm. Okay.
And it's surprising to me that on some level, that like the standards that we have for people, let's just say that your generation has for some of these so-called artists or musicians, because I don't really see them as artists. They're just like people that have been chosen. They're not really that talented. They're just popular. Speaking of which, did you know that there was back in the day they created this classification of pop musician to separate people that they deemed as like truly artisans, like musicians and artists from these pop musicians. So like popular. So they created black all this pop music category basically for black people. Keep black people over here, keep the true artists over here. So when it comes to somebody like NBA Youngboy, it's tough for me to even acknowledge him as an artist. And because not just because I don't know. It's just hard for me to really. If you're not a Drake, or if you're not a Kanye, or if you're not a Jay Z, it's just. I guess, and I'm out of the loop because I'm detached from the culture. From the culture this part of the culture that
Yeah,
means so much to you guys. But what I have a hard time accepting is how somebody's life can be so screwed up.
yeah.
You even just said that his music is tanked, and yet you still rocking with this dude. Like as a fan, like how can you continue to be a fan of somebody that is garbage?
That's
I
early.
don't. I
Hey,
don't.
hey. I,
See, here
See,
you
I was
go.
with you up until that. Yeah, I was with you. I was
Huh?
with you up until that. And you know, I don't. You know, I'm never gonna let you get away with that because a lot of your amazing artists was screwed up in the head. Whitney Houston, God rest her soul. But come
Marvin
on now,
Gaye.
we wouldn't. People are still Marvin Gaye. People will still subscribe to their music, even though they had a very
R.
flawed music.
Kelly.
And I'm not trying to compare the talent, but we're not going to say
I
that.
hope not. That's my
Yeah, I'm
only
not
issue
comparing the
with you.
talent. Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
comparing the talent, but
We're
I'm just
comparing.
saying this is
These people had really like messed up backgrounds. R. Kelly was peeing on little girls. Marvin Gaye,
come on, bro.
um,
Allegedly.
Whitney Houston was on every drug on the under the sun. But y'all still, your generation, y'all listen to her music. They make great music. Y'all separate the from the artist. So that's why you still listen to it. I want to say
Yeah,
he's Would you say Whitney Houston's garbage because she was on drugs in the studio, or R. Kelly is garbage because he gets around with underage females? No, you say yeah,
they still
they're a
friends.
horrible
They still
person, but
friends.
they make really good music.
That boy Cameron then went out as soon as he said allegedly. They knew he was on them games. Is he froze on your
Yeah, it
end
looks
too?
froze.
Anyway, can't even
You
defend
really
himself.
can't.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's what that's what I was saying too, man. Well, and that's why I kind of had you on here because I'm not really a huge fan, especially music they've made in the last 2 years. But you're not a fan, you can't deny the influence and the
yeah.
impact he had. Like I said, I think he's this
On
generation.
everything.
Like, yeah, he did it so different, bro. Like this man was the most sought out artist and wouldn't do a concert like it. You know what I'm saying? Need the
Literally.
bread, don't want the bread. Also apparel going crazy. So yeah, man. I hope that I don't really hope to hear him as an artist again. I would go see him in concert though. I ain't gonna lie.
Who, NBA Youngboy?
Yeah, I would. I know I probably wouldn't be able to afford it, but
Dang, his
uh,
tickets are like that.
I don't think they would be
he
that
won't even
bad.
he don't even do concerts. So like if he ever did another one, it would be almost impossible to go.
Because so many people are going to be there.
Yeah. He
I
don't
need
like
I to
he
some
didn't
of
want
this.
to huh?
I need to listen to one of his songs or something. What do y'all like about
I'm
it? You
going to
like?
like,
Authenticity, man. Authenticity, real. And he really that's really and then yeah, I mean he had a very unique sound too, like
he does have a very unique sound. Very Louisiana. This for the Caden. I like his music. I do.
it's like a young Boosie, but
Mm-hmm.
on steroids.
And why was he locked up?
I don't even know. I think I really don't know. Let me Google it really fast.
Mm.
It was probably something that happened like way back when he wasn't even famous.
When we talk about businessman though, that boy up.
Oh, he was locked up for gun related charges, possessed
Mm.
weapons, and being a convicted felon.
Yeah. And a lot of these YNs that's running around here making music about what they gonna do and what they da 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 da, but really doing time about
He's really
what he
doing. He's really a menace.
really like that. I ain't really saying do nothing but, at least he ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't.
A lot of people are lying.
You
He's about what he raps about. People appreciate authenticity.
So then be a gangster then. Why, if you're a gangster, be that. What?
Who?
Why do you need to be a singing gangster or a rapping gangster? It's absurd to me. Get out of here with that.
He likes to rap and
It's how
make
you express
music.
yourself and gonna get yourself out of Baton Rouge.
Okay. All right.
That's like
Okay. But
saying
then,
if you
but when he made his, but then he's got an opportunity to get. Go ahead. What are you gonna say? But how many of these rappers,
nothing.
any rapper boys, make it out and then find themselves reaching back
Go back.
to the same community or hood, because they can't
Yeah.
separate themselves from it.
Yeah.
That's another conversation.
You can take the hood out the guy. You can take the guy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the guy.
Yes, and I want to apologize just in case these words ever um, come back in my direction. I certainly didn't intend to say that this man was garbage because clearly he's clearly successful and he's talented. Um, he's definitely clearly influential. I'm really talking about. I'm talking more about the these decisions that people make and that will come back. Regardless of how much money you got, it's clear that it doesn't matter how much money you have today. You can still end up like Diddy, the Diddy's of the world, regardless of
Yeah.
the R. Kelly's of the world. And if you black, it's more likely it's more likely that you're gonna get doubled down on, but double down on whatever the punishment may be. But my understanding is that he's home. So has he been? Did he do his time? Just before we move on, did he do his time? Is that what happened, or was he redeemed? What happened?
Um,
I
he
may have
did
missed.
his he did
He
his
was not.
time. Yeah, he did his time. He's free now. I don't know if he's gonna be back on probation, but he definitely is free. 5 years of probation. I think he does have like 5 more years of probation of him being locked inside that
The connection
house.
kind of like
Hopefully he doesn't
nothing
go
on my
back
end.
to. Really? I think my dad is froze too. Well, our dad. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, he froze.
it's just like a little lag and stuff going on. But anyway, yeah, I really think it's on my. I hope you good. You can hear me.
It was the sound was a little bad. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's a lag, but guess we'll move on. Shout out to NBA Youngboy. Hope he get healthy and be a better father for
Yep.
his 13 kids. I
Mhm.
need to fact check that.
And
I'm
I
getting that
hope
boy kids. I don't know how many kids he got.
he has a lot. I hope he takes advantage of this new freedom. Any
Yeah,
kids? Oh, he only has 4 kids.
that's a lie. That is a lie.
That is a
That's a
lie. He
lie, bro.
has 12.
That's a
He
lie.
has 12
All
kids.
right.
He has
See, I already
12.
know.
I don't know why they
I
said
already know.
4.
Ain't no way.
I think he was 14 with his first baby.
Who?
NBA
You,
Youngboy.
you was talking about him. I said, I hope he becomes a better father because he got 13 kids. And he actually got 14. Wait, how many does he have? 12?
He has
I was
12.
really just shooting in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Dr. Doug, they be saying you got a lot of kids. What if you had
God
12
bless
of them
him.
at the age of 25?
I don't have a lot of kids, man. 6 kids is not a lot. Plus, I don't have no kids. Y'all are grown people, so I don't even count y'all no more. I'm trying to get to the point where I don't have to. If I can't benefit from y'all on my taxes, which I really never have been able to, then you can't really be considered my kids after 21.
I don't think that's
Okay.
Technically,
justifiable.
a kid
But
is. Anyway, y'all need to be bringing tithes into the storehouse. That's that. Like, can we have a conversation about that?
I think once we get in our 30s
Bring
and
time.
40s, once we get in our 30s and 40s, that's the conversation we can have. But at 20, in our 20s, ask for.
Okay, all right, if you say so.
Well,
I think yeah.
I'm not gonna give you an age
I don't
when I
think
can start
I don't
doing
think
that.
Dang, what, I don't know what's going on with my signal over here today, but
I think it's mine too. I don't know. I hope it's not me. Um, it looks kind of clear now. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
yeah.
I can hear you.
What's happening?
Oh, he left. I like your glasses, Dad. What kind are those?
These are they're called Aquila.
Let me see. Oh, those are nice.
Thank you, love.
You're
I got these
welcome,
at a thrift store in LA right before I got up out of there.
bro.
Saw them in, you know how they have the nicer things at that in the counter in the cabinets or up front.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this is
think we're
all
better. Is the
LA right
signal
here.
stronger now?
Yeah, it's cool.
All right. Well, I did want to. I think we're doing good on time, man. I wanted to kind of wrap it up with just, and I really need the signal to be strong here, but I just wanted to speak on family a little bit, man, and I really don't really have. I think that a lot of people deal with the struggles of boundaries with family. Then we talk about just on a love level, you know what I'm saying, on a trust level, and just being there for some. I guess being there for you as a kid, all the way up to you're grown. I just kind of want to maybe hear y'all experiences on just like real thoughts of family, like how they impact you, and not the cute stuff, you know, but the stuff that may rub you the wrong way.
Mm. I think I've been doing like a deep dive of our family dynamic lately and like how my childhood is kind of like bleeding into my adulthood, especially now recently. I saw this tweet. It was like those childhood things that you never got over are gonna kick your butt in adulthood. And I see it, especially like y'all know I'm in a like a little I deal with somebody. And so when we get into it, I realized like a lot of things that were happening in my childhood kind of like bleed into our relationship. I remember I did this thing where I will sit in my room all day with my mama because I mean that's what our family dynamic was at my mama house. Then I moved to my dad's house and he was like, Nia, why are you sitting in your room all day? Like we didn't do that. We came out of our house, we came out of our rooms and we spoke. And it was just like a culture shock to me, especially now it's like, oh, maybe I do need to come outside and speak to these people. So really now like I'm having this realization of how things that I've been doing for like the past 18 years at Texas and California really just are like shaping my life now, if that makes sense. Like how I talk to people, the communication I keep with people, if I talk to them a lot, if I don't talk to them at all. It's just everything leads back to my childhood, you know? And that's what I had to say about how I interacted with you guys bleeds into how I interact with people on a daily basis. So that's what I
Yeah,
had to say about
That's
that.
that's a
we're just
good
gonna leave it there, though. I mean, like, how how did those things in your childhood like impact you? Did they impact you more in a positive way, negative way, or more? Would you say just kind of indifferently?
I think in terms of just like I find comfort in being by myself, like being in my own space, being in my own area. And now in for so many years that was just going unchecked, and now I'm really like a lot of people, my friends, they'll come up to me and be like, Nia, do you even like me? I'm like, why would you even say that? Because like you don't talk, like you just be in your own area. and now I'm just really starting to see like how that affects other people, and that I probably more than likely need to get out of this thing where like I'm just in my own little space, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. It makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
I think
Mm.
that's growth that you're able to put those two together. Uh,
Yeah.
and I mean, I've experienced that from you too. I mean, there'd be times where I come up to California. I think you was still working on that. And I'm just like, and it'll be, and we didn't grow up in the same house, so
Yeah.
dad'll tell me sometimes like that's just how she is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, don't that there goes that train. Anyway,
Mhm.
uh,
Mm.
but yeah, man, that's dope. That and I don't think that you have to stay that way. I think it takes time. Like even acknowledging that, I think that's like I said, that's growth. So I'm excited to see,
Yeah.
and I think you become more social even in our family like gatherings that we do.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Even this, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think you would have been in this space, maybe 4 years ago. So I think
Yeah. Yeah. My dad really had to push me.
that's good. Shout out to both of
Mm.
y'all.
Yeah, that's beautiful and tough at times to hear too, because I know how I know the work that you had to do when you were, or the work or the conflicts that you were going through, I guess internally and externally when you were a little girl. So, and I would always, when we would have those conversations um, about where you are versus where you're going. Remember, we would talk about that. Like, you're not. Remember, I would always say you're not going to be in this place forever, Nia. And you're not. One day you're going to be able to express yourself. Um,
Hmm.
and even though you shouldn't, I can remember telling you you shouldn't be forced to have to deal with these things, but this is what it is. It's the way. Remember, I would
Yeah.
say that. And so now seeing you as a young woman and you know about to be a college grad, and seeing you having your own relationships, and also and being willing to stretch yourself in a bunch of different ways, even with respect to this, it makes me proud. And I'll say, um, to your question, Jalen, I think that the value in having solid family members is goes without. I guess it goes without really. Um, I think we miss the value or the significance of having family members that really go out of their way to help nurture us, or help to expand who we are, and beyond the family dynamic. Sometimes that family or that nuclear dynamic that we often that we find ourselves in, that little small nucleus. Even though you grew up as a single, you as an only child, Jalen, um, only child in that house. Nia grew up in the house, essentially an only child, even though she had a brother,
Mm,
totally disconnected
mm,
and detached from the whole family unit. So it really wasn't. So even though you call that a family, it really wasn't. I don't even think is that. I don't really think the essence of a family was existed, in the way that it should in in uh, in the household, and in many households. We just have something. We just find ourselves as living with people that we really don't bond with.
Hmm.
Like, and I think we can. I think it's safe to say that we don't even like a lot. I grew up with my sister. I didn't know my sister because she never ever wanted to talk to me, and
Hmm.
we have nothing in common. But
Yeah.
she wasn't interested in developing or nurturing a relationship with me. It's kind of like your situation, Nia, with Kanan. My
Hmm.
sister wasn't interested. Now, you know, um, And I think it's important to to express that family isn't just biological. Family is can be the people that love us, that lift us up, that encourage us, that are there for us, independent of blood. Those are the things that are at the top of my mind when you start talking about family. I mean, we could take a deeper dive, but those are some of my initial thoughts.
So my question for both of y'all, I mean, what do you do with those? Like, what do you do with the are tied to you forever from the time you're born to the time that you leave this earth? And you're talking about siblings here, it could be parents, but just people that you know you're way more tied to than even just a cousin or a grandma. Like these people are people you grew up in the house with. There still has to be something there, right? Right?
Mm. Well, I think right now I'm just like, how? Why is he always just dipping? Hello, can you hear me?
I think his phone, his service. Yeah, I can hear you. I think his service is just bad. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, like
Can
me
you hear
trying
me?
to understand. Yeah, I can. Like me trying to understand everything from my childhood. I'm also trying to understand my parents more. Just them, not even separating them like from my parents, but as people. And the more I understand my parents, my siblings, you, Sinai, Kanan, Caleb, Jordan, the more I understand who y'all are as people, the more I can really nurture that relationship. Because that's what I want to do in the end is just nurture our relationships. But I've just been trying to get to see my parents mostly as people, and not just, oh, this is my dad, this is my mama.
So not having the expectations from them as a brother or as a mom, but this is who this person is, and I have to treat them or handle them with this type of you know care or
Mm-hmm.
distance or however, right? I
Yeah,
think
I have to, I want to understand my people.
yeah, and it's crazy because I mean some of these people are people that so even in learning that I feel like some of these people we wouldn't even deal with if we weren't blood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we still even though we look at them as people, we still got to look at them as family because so that's really
Yeah.
interesting, man. That's why I really wanted to have this conversation. Um, I
Like
think
even Kanan,
but
like even Kanan, I think it would be so easy. It's so easy for me to say, "Oh, I'm so mad at Kanan. Oh, I don't. Oh, I don't like him. Oh, I just don't want to talk to him." But I just have to think about him and who he is as a person and the things that he went through that make him what he is today. And so when I think about all the stuff that made him him, the anger, I'm just not as angry. I'm just not as mad at him anymore. I'm just like, well, that's just who you are, you know? And I understand that we probably didn't grow up the same, even though we grew up in the same household. We grew up like in different environments, like in terms of schooling, in terms of his friends, my friends. So if that's how you grew up around these certain type of people, I'm not gonna take what you do to me as personally as I did, if that makes any sense. And it's the same way with my mama. I used to be mad at my mama too. I think that was probably just because I was young. But no, she used to really make me mad. I used to be mad at my mama, and I think in like my sophomore year of college, I was just like, you're a human just like me. You make mistakes. There's no reason to hold a grudge against you for it. So the more I understand my people, the more I love them for who they are.
That's so mature, man. That's so mature.
But if it was like a random person on the street, I wouldn't try to understand them and what they do. It's really none of my business. But because this is my family and I'm kind of like forced to be around them, then I'm forced to see things from their perspective, which I have no problem doing.
Very
That's
mature.
my
I love that.
yeah.
Well, that's a very mature, um, like just take on interacting with people that are complicated. Unfortunately, some of these complicated people just happen to be our blood, and that does not absolve these people from being respectful. I think that it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we have mothers that aren't good mamas. It's unfortunate that we have fathers that aren't good fathers, or people that never hold themselves accountable to becoming a better person. You can't make me better. You can't make me want to be a better person. I gotta want to be a better person. I so and my father. I think I always felt that he just was he was a horrible father. He just was not. He just and he just never really turned it around. I wasn't, I'm a father of six, and I know I've done a lot of things that I could have done differently. I would have done differently if I knew better, but I don't think I could ever, I don't think none of y'all could say that I've ever disrespected any of you. I've been mad at you, but I've never have been angry, frustrated, but have I ever disrespected you? I mean, I'm asking you that right now.
Mm-mm.
You ever felt like I disrespected you, Jalen?
Nah.
Well, yeah, I know I haven't. I know I've been mad. I probably wanted to choke you out a few times, but that's not. That's me wanting, my son and to be a better, even a better version of me. Nia, the times I remember we would sit on the bed and I'd just be like, "Come on, Nia," and I'd lean into you sometimes, and then even to the point where you break out and start crying, and then I'd be like, "Dang, I got to pull back." So there are times. So I'm learning as I'm going. There are times when I be so upset or so frustrated, and I think you and I, Jalen, were talking about this talking about how many of these experiences inform the person that we are. So when you talk about and it's informing who we are today, those experiences that you had when you feeling that you needed to stay in your room to protect yourself from your mama, or it was safer in there, just safer for whatever reason, or just because your mother just wasn't a very sociable person, whatever the case. Jalen, you being just isolated into that house by yourself and thinking that the world revolved around you. I never really in that in kind of informing how you move, but I've seen how you've changed and you've evolved from that. Me, I've been pretty much was in a house by myself too. It was people around me, but I was pretty much by myself, for the most part. I didn't have no sibling to play with. I never played with my sister ever. But I think that like in addition to the stuff that we're talking about on this base level, I think it's more important to at least acknowledge these things and to talk about it. Talk about this stuff when you have the opportunity to do so with family, people that you just love and care. This person that you say that you're involved with, Nia, if it is true, if this is somebody that you will go beyond this phase and perhaps, enter into even a more significant relationship with this person, you have to be willing to challenge some of those attitudes and those values that have become seated in our in the way that we perceive. Like they say that we see the world a certain way, we see ourselves a certain way, and we see others, and we see there's a way that we
to some extent, it's like we're seeing ourselves as we move through this life. We're seeing ourselves and in the mirror of those that are looking at us, and we're also looking at just there's one more thing, but I can't remember what that is. But I don't know. It's such a really interesting, such an interesting topic because families are I think they're under assault, and they have been for a long time. I think, in particular, the black family has been just dismantled, cut up, um, and and that was largely in part by design in the United States. Taking the mamas from taking the father, separating the father from the family, separating the children from the mama. You know, can you even imagine that? As hard as it may have been at different points of your lives, or even at different parts of my life, can you just imagine being just snatched from your family, as dysfunctional as it may have been? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you add on to that. My mother called me today talking about what my sister said to her and what my niece agreed. Tori, talking about yesterday was my sister's birthday. I told you that. I told you that, Jalen. I talked to my sister the other day, and it was a good conversation. But I guess before the day ended, my sister got deep into the sauce and started talking crazy. And I guess she called your grandmother and started dropping f-bombs and
She was
about
drunk.
something. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And when is she not drunk? So
Oh.
she dropping f-bombs, and now your mom. So now your grandmama, she on 12, wanting me to talk to her. It is nothing good gonna come out of that. Talking about
Mm-hmm.
what Tori said, and that's that. And you talked about these some of these people that we have in our families that we would not interact with. I probably would not. I wouldn't talk to my sister if I had no. I'd be cordial to her, but I certainly wouldn't make. I wouldn't be like chopping it up with her, going out of my way to spend time. I go back to South Georgia to spend time with them because they are my family and I love them. But do I want to invite them over to watch the game? Nah.
Yeah. No.
Some of these relationships are difficult,
Yeah,
but
these are.
they're family. But it's still family, and I think that if it doesn't kill you, then I think that it should go out of the way. We should go out of our way to at least honor those relationships. If there's some modicum of respect, and I think I was talking to you about that the other day with Courtney. Telling you how Courtney has been, probably been to. He can't remember the amount of schools that he went to, and there was a point where I was making him. I was feeling some kind of way because he was not reaching back out to me, and I probably have said that to you guys at different points. Like, why are you so disconnected from me, right? Or are you so disconnected from me? I love you. I want to hear from you. But the reality is, I don't have to do that. You don't have to do it, and I shouldn't have to encourage you to do that. It should be something that is natural. But if you're not like naturally inclined, or if you weren't like conditioned in that way, it's probably not going to be that way. But then you're right, Nia, that is going to affect your families. It's like unless you challenge some of those things. Like, do I really want to be like this, or how would I feel if my daughter or my son stayed in the room all day? Or I remember Jalen when I think I would get mad at you sometimes for staying in the bathroom all day, or staying on the toilet 30, 40 minutes.
It's just stuff to be mad.
All right.
But hey, yes, some of these things we just have to like look beyond. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Jalen? You didn't really share much.
Man, it's all good. It's actually this is really like uh, I really have ever looked at it more deeper than I have in the last probably 2 weeks, or maybe I did. I mean, I noticed how it affected me, but just couldn't really like express like how, like, you know what I'm saying. Okay, there you go. Anyway, uh, but so how? Bless you. Yeah, no one cares about my story. I'm just sneezing and going off camera.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, but I always felt like I don't really care. It doesn't bother me that my family on both sides, I don't talk to them every day. So like I got cousins, first cousins, you know, on my mom's side. Growing up, I went to their games, you know what I'm saying? We just like I was just there, you know what I'm saying? But you know, as they grew up, um, they were like significantly older than me as well. Probably got like 10 years on me. College, it just was like a little disconnect. You know, like I see you around Christmas, you know what I'm saying? And then growing
Yeah.
up with, you know, my siblings in a different household, low key was like the same. You know what I'm saying? Like I see y'all together, and it's not an expectation to talk to y'all every day. And so, like I said, on the surface level, like I don't really, it doesn't really bother me. But you know, um, and so I don't know if it's an issue, but I never it doesn't bother me. And so, like you said, like me growing up by myself, like growing up the only child, maybe being selfish or just feeling like the world revolves around me. It's like, well, if they ain't calling me, then I ain't talking. You know, like we ain't got to talk. You know what I'm saying? But maybe, maybe they over there like, you know, he don't call me either. You know what I'm saying? So he got it. Lil' cuz got it. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all dealing with what y'all dealing with. So I, I think
Yeah.
that I don't spend a lot of time on it, so I don't want to say I get in my own way, but maybe you know what I'm saying. I take blame for those relationships not being stronger. Like I don't have that TV show dynamic. You know what I'm saying with my family. It's barely even any dysfunction because of how distant we are. You know what I'm saying, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
It barely knows what's going on with me. So no, I've never grown up playing with a sibling. My cousins, like I said, was significantly older. So I think it's weird, you know what I'm saying? But I hope, you know, once we all get older, I think that family is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I want my cousins at my wedding. I want my cousins, you know, I want, you know, people there with me on my birthday. When I make it big, I want y'all to be there. You know what I'm saying? I want to be there with y'all successes as well. So it'll take
Yeah.
work and effort, you know, to uh those are my thoughts on like family though.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that 100%.
I think too. I think that it's important to um, to acknowledge the importance of or you know or the significance of going out of your way to strengthen the family ties or the bonds. It just doesn't happen. Like when these tight connections don't. It just doesn't happen in an arbitrary way. You have to be intentional about it. And when you asked me about my father the other day, you know, you took you were very genuine, and you took you authentic. You wanted to know how that impacted me. You couldn't have formed the questions that you or probably couldn't have come up with the I guess the um, I guess what am I the word I'm looking for? You wouldn't have just been thoughtful enough, to sit down and ask me that 5 years ago. You know, you're too deep into your own stuff. I might not have been able to answer it 5 years ago, you know, like in the way that I could, in the way I did. So as we progress in life, um, we should be um, more intentional about nurturing the relationships that are meaningful, you know, the ones that are fulfilling to us. And I think, and it's special, especially special when you have people within your family that are that have been there for years and years and years that you got a good solid relationship with, but it's just not, this doesn't happen like that all the time. So like I told Courtney the other day, man, yo, you should be more, you should be ashamed of yourself for not going to see your grandmother. You should, you know, because she practically raised you. You know, so you know, regardless of how isolated we become, you know, and this is for the two of you who happen to kind of been isolated, you know, but I see you want to stretch, come out of yourselves. You know, and I hold myself to the same standard. You know, there's times when I just don't want to be bothered, you know, or if somebody's treating me a certain way, you know, I can easily cut people off. Y'all, I think y'all do kind of know that about me. I don't really necessarily like being that way either, you know, because at the end of the day, just like you said, Nia, if you hold on to some of the negative energy, if you hold on to negative, any degree of negative energy, it's going to impact you more so than it hurts that other person. Usually the other person is they're not even absorbing, they're not holding on to that negativity. They're just being goofy, being ridiculous, or being petty, being whatever it is that kind of defines their character. They're going to continue to be that way. But when you have someone like yourself, both of you two, I would say, are sentient beings. You feel, you sense. Even when you said, Jalen, um, you know, it doesn't bother me on a surface level. Okay, well then it's obvious that it's not bothering you on the surface level. But if somebody's listening to you, it's obvious that it's affecting you on a deeper level. It's impacting you. It's bothering you somewhere in your consciousness or in your spirit somewhere, whether or not. And it's not it's not one of those things that you necessarily have to unpack, figure out all at once, you know. And you said that it's your fault. No, it is not your fault that it is the way that it is. You know, you don't you know, I don't you mentioned, I think you said something about blaming yourself. It's not for you to blame yourself for the family dynamic. You can't control that. You can't control all the factors that led up to this. So why would you take on that responsibility? Think about it. You can reach out. It doesn't cost you to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, how you doing? What's up? You know, I just was thinking about you." We can do that. I do that at times. I was thinking about that today with Antonio. I don't really, you know, Antonio never calls me. He might reach out to me maybe once out of the year. I'm the one that usually calls, but when I call, it's always great. It's always good conversation. So even though, so sometimes we have to come outside of our room. We gotta come outside of these comfort spaces and engage. And then there are moments in our lives where you want to go back inside, you know, and maybe lick your wounds or prepare for whatever is next. But if you're in a relationship, in a relationship, you know, relationships require reciprocity, as you said. It requires a steady flow of good energy and the cycling, you know, the cycles, you know, just like that infinity sign. So you, you can't just isolate yourself and think that everything's going to be okay, or you can overexpose yourself too. So I think that there's a there's 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 like, it's important that we know who we are. It's important that we know what may have, you know, those things that influenced who we are. I told you I was tight. I was tight a lot of times. I remember telling y'all all the time, my daddy didn't do this, and I had to stop saying that. You know, I got tired of hearing myself say that. You know, my daddy didn't do this, and why you think you should deserve? So I think as we evolve, you know, we should just be better. We should be better people, and we should be better for the people that are connected to us or that we're associated with, that will become accountable to us. And it doesn't necessarily mean, when you talk about family, when you mention family, I don't think that we can just kind of like limit it to the people that we are tied to biologically. We have to consider the people that love us, people that value who we are, that aren't connected to us biologically. Because I got people that I've known, and I got people that I trust far more than I trust the majority of my family members, so-called family members.
Well said.
But the two of you, I wanted to the two of you, I think Jordan, and Jalen, Nia, you, Jalen, and Jordan, y'all are like the glue in this family, and I guess at this level, and I think that it's a beautiful thing that we're doing this, and we can continue to.
Near you still there?
Here.
Neil, I think that the three of you is beautiful when we were at Jordan's house, and just like that probably was one of the strongest family like experience that I've had, probably I don't know, years and years, and probably years and years. And with us, that was one of the most beautiful experiences, having everybody like there together. Everybody, I think, except Sanaa.
Yeah. My sister.
Mm-hmm. But I wanted to say too. One last thing I wanted to say is that choose who chooses you, family
Yeah.
or otherwise.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Not even just people, but places, opportunities. I think that's a big word for sure. Choose what choose you. Love who
Mm-hmm.
love you. That's good.
What you
hmm
think, Nia? What do you think about that?
choose who choose you.
Yeah.
Yep. Go where you're loved.
Mm.
Well,
Mhm.
sad. I'm reading this book called "Pulling Our Own Strings." People throughout our lives will pull your strings if you let them. That's family, and especially in family. Like, there's no way in the world. My sister, I'd be ready to. I almost wanted to call my sister and cuss her out. I was thinking about all the cuss words I wanted to to put together. I wanted to employ some grown cussing, because of what she said to my mother. This is her daughter talking. But I had to step back, and I thought about my mom, how my mama can be very difficult and very challenging to talk to at times. But that battle that they have is not my battle to fight. So it's and if I get into that, it's just going to create more conflict. And I think and I so I think negotiating. My point is, like, negotiating, like the how we move, the dynamics of these familial relationships is something that I guess we'll take to the grave. If you're a conscious being, if you don't give a shit, if you don't, if you don't care two flips about this person, then you probably won't go out of your way even to have conversations that need to be had. But if you care, it's hard not to have those conversations. I told Jalen the other day, Nia, that I talked to my sister for the first time sober and years. I can't remember the last time I talked to her sober. We talked for about an hour, probably 45 minutes to an hour. And that was the same day she called and cussed out her mom, cussed out, our mama. So,
Yeah. I know, bitch.
hey, what can you do?
You can
Man,
pray.
Hey, come on, preach.
proud of both of y'all, man. I never like I said, I got siblings, but they've always been from a distance, and both of y'all have experienced, you know,
Yeah.
something in the other room,
Yep.
or in the same house. So I commend y'all for just pushing through that for real, for real.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um,
Hard headed sibling.
yeah, man. I need to check on him, bro. I don't know where he at.
Who, dad or my brother?
Kanan.
Oh yeah, check on that man.
Okay. I'm gonna try to let him come back in one more time so I can close it out. I
Mhm.
definitely want to end it on our. Yeah, there it goes. Hold on. What's going on with your service over there, man?
I don't know, man. Keep falling off. It's the devil.
Okay. I'm having
Mm.
issues on mine too. I think this is one of our best episodes, but it's
You
all good.
you
They
think
trying
so?
to
It's
play
kind
us.
of heavy, man. Ain't kind of get heavy.
Nah, it's heavy, man.
Oh,
That's why I said I'm gonna go ahead and wrap
it's
it up.
the name of the show is Party Pickers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey
He
Nia, though. Before you wrap it up, how are things going on with you and Miles?
Me and Miles. You remember his name? You hear me?
Yes,
I said you remember his name.
I said Miles.
Yeah.
Yes.
And me and Miles.
she's smiling too hard. I don't like this.
Sorry. Okay, let's stop smiling. Me and Miles, we're doing great. We're doing great. We really are. We've been talking for a year now. We hit our little anniversary, if that's what you want to call it.
What do you mean talking?
We've been dealing with each other for a year. We've been dating, okay? We've been dating for
Okay.
a year now. And and we're still thriving. I mean, we get into it every now and then. We hash it out, but I'm really trying to like calm down. Cause y'all know when I'm upset, I can get a little angry, and so I and so while when we get into it, I think I'm really just starting to learn how think first before I say or do anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're both growing with each other, learning with each other, and just having a good time. His birthday is coming up.
Shout out to Miles, man.
Shout out to Miles.
I was feeling some kind of way about it, Jalen. Just so you'll know that she's been dating this guy for a whole year, and we've never seen, never talked to him.
Well, if they just talking, you know what I'm saying.
Like
You know.
we got a year isn't
No,
I don't know.
I'm not really
You just
interested in meeting. I mean, I know you're a dad. That's different. But I mean, if she say like this, my boyfriend, you know, I feel like that's when it's like okay. But I feel like they somebody got one foot in, one foot out. And
yeah.
that ain't my big on that.
Yeah, I think we really need like a solid title from like here are my parents.
Yeah, I agree.
Y'all need to know that y'all are very important and on a high pedestal. So y'all just can't be meeting anybody just can't be meeting y'all, They have
Mm-hmm,
to be worthy. And I need to know they're worthy. Not just saying that I'm messing with it of what is not worthy, but you need to be sure. Can't just throw
hmm.
anybody in your parents' face.
Well, after a year, I think you probably should be close to determining whether or not this
Yeah,
is something. I mean, not to say that you have to be, but I think you should at least have an idea.
it's on that cups. Like It's on that. You know.
And I'm saying that because I know who you are. You're not a regular chick. You're very dedicated to your school work. Your career is kind of on track. So you can't be messing around with no goofy dude. So and
Yeah.
I don't think you would be just dragging somebody along for
Nah,
12
they
months.
like them smart girls like them goofy dudes.
I think I don't know from what I've heard, Miles he don't seem goofy. That's why I wanted to put my eyeballs on it.
And I ain't talking. He talks about me and you all the time because he wants to join the Air Force. So he's like, "Yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with your dad." I'm like, "Okay."
You might got it.
Let that happen when you're ready.
He got LSU. Is he got LSU?
No, he goes to Southern.
Oh, I always thought he went to LSU.
He
He
goes to Southern.
a hood rat.
Whoa.
I'm just playing Southern.
You know
Just
they'll
playing.
get mad. They're Jag pride. God bless them
Mm,
though.
mm.
All right.
Nia, you still thinking about going to an
But
HBCU?
I don't want to get. Yeah, I don't want to get.
We gotta
Look,
close this
man.
out.
Okay. We got to get
Dr.
Jordan
Doug, what got you
in on
through today?
one of these family calls.
Yep.
I'm sorry. What you say?
He said we gotta get Jordan on here.
Yeah. Jordan is
Nah,
Jordan.
I
You can't
wouldn't
have a
do that.
conversation about family and not have and not consider Jordan.
Yeah, he's a family man. Okay.
A big family man. He got probably more disappointment. I mean, all of us.
But yeah,
But yeah,
but
Dr. Doug.
he hold it down like a champ.
Yeah. What got you?
Got me through the day. Got me through the day, man. The smiles on some of these folks' faces over here. A couple of brothers that I made eye contact with in the streets of San Pedro Market East today. Actually, no, La Romana today. Just kind-hearted people. Sparkle in the eyes of like men with shotguns in their hands. Security guards carry shotguns and 45s, but but at the same time, I've not met one that was like stoic or mean mugging. These people. If you look them in the eye, they look you back in the eye, and will meet and will greet you kindly, and that definitely was a big part of getting me through this day. Kindness.
I know that's right.
Hey,
All right. What got me through the day? Being alive, and being able.
Being alive,
That's all I got, y'all.
I ain't mad. We gave us a lot today. Being alive, being able got me through today. Respect.
Mhm.
What got me through today is some of my music, man. I got been making faith-based music for about 3-4 months now. So beautiful thing about making songs is like a lot of times you go in there and you make songs about what you have gone through, but sometimes you find yourself making songs about that you haven't even went through yet, and then you eventually get there, or
Yeah.
you can just relate to them again. I think that's what's dope. I mean, just music in general, but so it's dope, man. Just being able to listen to something that you made that'll uplift your spirit. You know what I'm saying? I may not have had it in me to say it today, but the songs or the lyrics that I wrote, months back, pushed me through today. So make sure y'all
Make sure y'all tap
go
in.
stream God Did That and many more songs. Y'all can tap in.
Amen.
hallelujah.
Oh, well, you
Bless
guys,
you.
it's been a great stream.
It certainly has.
It's been amazing
It has been
talking
an
to you.
amazing stream. Yeah, Nia, can't wait for your next bi-weekly meeting. Uh, next one will be a less on Louisiana. Try to spice up, switch it up a little bit. Thanks, Dr. Doug, for Stop interfering your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm about to get out into these streets. I'm actually going to see some live music. A friend of mine is a musician out here. He's playing with a band tonight.
Hey, can you send me some money?
Me too, bro.
Is that like it's like a part of the show, like a recurring theme? I told you I don't support Drake fans
Okay.
nor Laker fans. Anything that sounds like Lake or Drake.
Well,
I got you. I got some money coming. I'm gonna look out for you. Plus, yeah. Get off. I thought we were wrapping this thing up.
all right. Bye, you guys.